She wasn't a warrior. She wasn't a queen. She was something far rarer, a mortal turned goddess, then forgotten by history. Until now, **K everyone. Welcome back to Myth or Real, the channel where legends breathe and myths whisper. Truths. If you're new here, I'm your guide through the shadows of time and the realms of the divine, the monstrous, and the forgotten. Today, we're diving into a name you've probably never heard spoken in the same breath as Athena, Zeus, or Hades, but her story is just as haunting, just as powerful. This is the story of Phylonoe, and if you enjoy these mythical deep dives, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. It helps the channel more than you know, and hey, it costs you nothing. Also, let me know in the comments below, who's your favorite mythological figure? Kings, warriors, demons, angels, or beasts? I read every comment. Alright, ready? Let's step into the forgotten shadows of Greek myth. In the ancient and war-hardened lands of Sparta, a daughter was born, not to the gods, but to mortals touched by the divine. Her name was Phylonoe, the daughter of King Tyndareus and Leda. Yes, that Leda, the one seduced by Zeus in the form of a swan. Phylonoe was the sister of some very familiar names: Castor and Pollux, Clytemnestra, and the fabled beauty Helen of Troy. But Phylonoe, she was different. While her siblings were drawn into the mortal coils of war, betrayal, and legend, Phylonoe was marked by the gods for something else entirely. From a young age, she walked between the realms of the living and the divine. It was said she spoke to animals in whispers no one else could hear, that her gaze could calm the rage of warriors, that her hands could close wounds not even the best Spartan physicians could touch. People feared her, revered her. Some even worshipped her in a forest sacred to Artemis, the goddess of the hunt and protector of young women. Phylonoe once saved a wounded doe from a lion's jaws. Touched by her mercy, Artemis appeared in a blaze of moonlight and mist. But unlike the wrath she brought to Actaeon or Niobe, Artemis gave Phylonoe something rare: a gift, immortality. Yes. According to fragmentary texts and obscure references in ancient scholia, Phylonoe was granted divine status by Artemis herself. No other mortal woman in Sparta, not even Helen, was given such an honor. From that moment on, Phylonoe was no longer merely the daughter of kings. She became a minor goddess, possibly a local protector, or a divine spirit bound to forests, healing, or even death. But what exactly she ruled over is lost or hidden. Unlike her siblings, Phylonoe vanished from most myths. She was never mentioned in Homer's Iliad. She didn't march in the war for Troy, nor did she return in shame or glory, but traces of her lingered in Laconian rituals. Old women would invoke a goddess called Phylonoe, a name believed by some scholars to be a corrupted remembrance of Phylonoe. Her name was whispered for safe childbirth, healing the sick, and protecting lost children in the woods. Some stories say she became a guardian of transitions, between life and death, between girlhood and womanhood, between silence and song. An eternal watcher, a quiet savior, a goddess who walked unseen. Her name does appear in a few ancient texts, but barely. In the Suda, a massive 10th century Byzantine encyclopedia, Phylonoe is listed briefly: daughter of Tyndareus and Leda, made immortal by Artemis. Some scholars argue she was a nymph, or perhaps even a prototype of a forgotten cult unique to the region of Laconia. In obscure poetry from the Hellenistic period, there's mention of a moon daughter who tames the beasts, potentially a poetic metaphor for Phylonoe. But here's the kicker: her name literally means lover of the mind or mind friend. In Greek, philo equals love, no equals mind/understanding. This raises questions. Was she a goddess of wisdom? Of sanity? Perhaps an early, local counterpart to Athena, lost to time? Phylonoe's story doesn't end with glory or tragedy. It ends with silence, the kind that only grows louder over centuries. But silence isn't the same as being forgotten. Phylonoe lives on in the spaces between myths, in the breath of a forest, in the hush before dawn, in the stories we almost lost. She reminds us that not all legends roar. Some simply whisper. So what do you think? Was Phylonoe just a footnote in the shadow of Helen and Castor, or was she something far greater? A lost goddess of healing and peace? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and tell me who your favorite mythological character is. Whether it's a king, a demon, a warrior, or a creature that slithers through dreams, I want to hear about it. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications. It helps me bring more forgotten legends to light, and it doesn't cost you a thing. Until next time, stay curious and stay mythic.